We're gonna have camp today. We are. Who won't give a damn about the Alamo? Right. Who gives a damn about the white man's loss? That's why the world will rejoice when we are in the door. Right.
And the scepter of the rulers.
The truth of the matter is that you, the white man, have painted yourself as Jesus Christ.
Right.
No more of the evil and the crimes that we learned from your people. And guess what? The more and more we change and become righteous, which we're doing today, teaching the love that we're teaching the righteousness that we're teaching, the more that you're going to fall be back in a position of a servant.
Right.
Because I never seen love for black people. I never seen love for Native Indians.
Right.
I never seen kindness for these people.
Right.
I never seen all of the good things you just said. I never seen them for black, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
So all of that heartwarming stuff that you're talking about does not apply in the barrios and the reservation.
Right.
All of the stuff that you're talking about does not apply to the ghettos of America.
I understand you guys have been hanging out here for I don't know how long, and things have changed. The Alamos kind of taken over the territory.
Because the last thing we want to do is have an officer get called out here who's not informed and act on something and get himself in trouble. Absolutely. Right? We're gonna make sure we speak to the whole shift about it and everybody knows the legality of what's going on in Alamo Plaza, because obviously it's a little bit disorganized from what they want as to what is on paper.
Once again, just undefeated when the Lord on your side. You know what I mean? The man in general, your honor, raised up real revolutionaries. Damn right. And know what to fight for and how to fight.
This is why Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible. Christianity is a man-made religion made by white supremacists. Right. Because Christianity is white supremacy.
Right.
Now, since you have supremacy, over here is black and brown supremacy. You want to have see what Christianity is sword? It's going to sword to kill everybody on the face of the earth.
The white man don't get in trouble because this is not his land. The black man got to take back over to lock the white man up. White man is immigration. Black people don't know the white man is immigration. When the white man found out that black people know that the white man is immigration, then it gets other than this is the land of the free. Do what the fuck you want to do.
Get up on your head. You're right. You're right. Come talk to your brother.
That's why they came up with the recycling.
Yeah, but what's the...
When you die, you come back.
Right.
You scared to die.
You're absolutely right.
You have to die for something you want.
Everything you say.
If you want what you want back, you gotta die for it.
Everything you
Our ancestors died for it.
Everything
they came back. You one of them.
You're right.
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 You one of them.
Absolutely.
Everybody teaching it.
Give this brother a hand.
You know what I'm saying? When you teach it, guess what? You're gonna learn something from the next man.
Right.
But when you don't know nothing, you're gonna be belligerent to the knowledge.
Right.
Because you don't have no understanding.
Right. I understand where you're coming from. Right. Why ain't you over here with us? Because we teaching the same
I don't
thing.
know, man.
We
There's
teaching
too
the same
much
thing.
going on.
Right.
Why y'all wasn't over there with them protesting and the abomination, the gay people?
What do you mean?
Well, they were protesting about a week ago.
We let them do over there whatever they doing over here, because we over here. This is the Lord's court. So we over here doing what we do.
Protesting the white niggas.
We teaching over here.
Let them know they're immigrants.
Right.
They having fun in our land.
Right.
While we live in piss poor on the street.
Right. But what's the solution though?
What you mean? What's the solution?
Like what's the solution to our problem of living piss poor here in this land?
Go back to your Martin Luther King days.
Right. Well, what's that?
That's your solution.
What's that? What's the Martin Luther King days? Let me know.
You got to really understand the freedom.
Right.
We not free.
So you talking about before Martin Luther King or after Martin Luther King?
Before Martin Luther King.
Right. You talking about
Martin
the separation rights.
When you separate somebody, guess what? You ain't doing nothing but bringing back more hate. When you separate everybody, you bringing back more hate.
Look, this is what Christ said.
We are hated because guess what? They don't want to be controlled by niggas.
Right.
This is what Christ said. Christ said, "Be ye separate." Right? We have to be ye separate right here in America. We can't do with their holidays. We can't deal with their homosexuality. We can't deal with their 4th of July. We can't deal with their political.
We can't deal with Juneteenth.
The only thing that we
Black people was free January the 1st.
I understand, but you said freedom ain't freedom. So just because they gave us the illusion of free, don't mean we free. The only way we can be free is this here truth. Right? Give me
You won't know who he is.
Set you free. John 8:32. Hold on, brother. Come back 1 second. Come talk to you. Because what you saying is right and biblical, right? Because Christ said the same thing. The black Messiah said the same thing. Because you know Christ's black, right?
He's black.
Right. That we serve a black God.
That's right.
We don't serve a black king.
You damn right.
I serve a black king.
They say there ain't no more kings.
Right. Christ is living.
We all kings.
Christ living through us, right? The Bible
Black
says
man right now is scared.
The kingdom of heaven is in you.
He's comfortable with what the white man
But
do.
the kingdom of heaven is within you.
It's a bunch of black people out here comfortable with what the white man do.
Right. But they
it ain't that we going against the white people. We going against ourselves.
So you need
We got to go against ourselves.
Look, you need to separate from them and come join the brothers that's more like you.
Right.
That's more in your thought process. Right here in the ISUPK.
You get rid of currency, everything will be back to where
You know what's better than currency? The promises of the Bible.
Right.
What's better than currency? Serving Christ. You know what's better than currency? The law, statutes, and commandments, your culture that the Most High God gave you. And that's here
Right now, what's better than currency is materialistic things.
No, that's not better than
Yes,
currency.
it is. It's the body of the woman. It's to dilute the man.
But
It's to dilute the black man of his energy.
The body of a woman is used for a purpose. Just because what the
sex
world
nowadays.
uses the purpose of the body of a woman.
See, what we don't see,
we need to
what
get
we
back
don't
to the
see,
truth of the Bible.
what we don't see is what we not teaching.
This is what it's saying in Corinthians.
We are teaching you.
Chapter 6 and verse 17.
Right?
Wherefore, come out from among them.
Do what?
Come out from among them.
The Bible saying come out from among them. So among all these people that's here in America, we need to come out from among them. Go ahead.
And be ye separate.
And be ye what?
Be ye separate.
Be equal with everybody.
Be ye separate.
Love everybody.
Be ye separate.
Be ye separate. That's what the Bible's saying. Keep going.
Saith the Lord.
Saith who?
The Lord.
No, saith Kabar.
The Lord.
Saith the ISUPK.
The Lord.
The Lord is saying this. God is saying this. Go ahead.
And touch not the unclean thing.
Touch not the what?
The unclean thing.
Now, little do you know these 4th of Julys and these Christmases and Easter, that's unclean.
Dang it.
That's unclean. It's unclean. It's worshiping another God, basically. It's
4th of
unclean.
July
Go ahead.
And I will receive you.
And the Lord will do what?
Receive you.
When we separate from these people here, right, the Lord will receive us. Go ahead.
Go with God, verse 18. It will be a father unto you.
He will be a what?
A father unto
The
you.
Lord will accept us again. Go ahead.
And ye shall be my sons
Right.
and daughters.
Right. Get that ahead. Get that ahead.
He separate from the white man when he needs to.
No, we can't separate him because we don't need him. He needs us.
I
Right.
understand
But
that.
more importantly, we need each other.
Right.
The
We
Lord
can't
ain't gonna deal
see
with
each
the Lord
other.
ain't gonna deal with me by
Because
myself.
nowadays,
The Lord ain't gonna deal with you
if
by
it ain't
yourself.
about
But the
money,
Lord's gonna deal with us
You
together.
don't know nothing.
The
You
Lord's
don't
gonna
wanna be
deal with
my
us
friend.
together as brothers.
The Lord ain't gonna pay you to be my friend.
The Lord ain't gonna pay for us to be friends.
He ain't.
All of these brothers
That's
is
what
my
they
friends.
thinking now.
All of these brothers is my friends. All you gotta do is come over here and be my friend. So then the Lord will accept you.
Without currency, we can't be friends.
We ain't worried about money. We worried about the brotherhood
going
and the
on
love
today.
of God.
It's gonna be kind of hard to teach the love of God when everybody's being controlled with the money.
Everybody's not
We
being
fighting ourselves
You
before
know
we fight
you know
them.
who's not being controlled with the money? These brothers right here behind this sign.
Right.
ISUPK. Maybe everybody you deal with is controlled by the money, but we're controlled by the laws and the loyalty of the Bible.
That's right.
We're
Just
controlled
a
by the
broke
love of
man
God.
try to make it in America.
We're controlled by the love of God.
That's what I said I am.
We're making it right now in America. But what we're doing, we're making it in America, but we're bringing our kingdom right here to this earth.
Right.
We're bringing our king right here to this earth by loving each other and by bringing each other and by coming together with each other and loving God and serving God. That's what
got
you
your
need to
own
do.
people going against you to make you hate you.
Don't worry
How you
about them.
gonna fix it?
Don't worry about them. Because all you have to do is show them brotherhood. All you have to do is show them love. Because what one black man has never gave another black man or gave another Hispanic man is love and compassion. That's all you have to do is give them love and compassion, and they will be your friend. but we don't give them love and compassion because we always want to beef with each other.
Too much hate.
Yeah, we got to stop the hate with each other and start loving
the
each
hate,
other.
they gonna continue hating more.
No.
They don't want you to come together.
At one point in time, we didn't know.
He lose power.
At one point in time, none of us knew each other, and we probably was beefing with each other and beefing with gangs and different that. But then we all started understanding God and came to one common conclusion that we need brotherhood and we need to love
blood
and serve God.
Separated us.
They separated. Some of us used to be Crips, some of us used to be Bloods, but now we are here serving God.
Right.
That's what you can do too.
I do the same thing.
You can do too. All you have to do is come over here. All you have to do is come over here and love us, brother.
I love everybody.
We don't love everybody. We love our people.
I'm talking about my kind.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you love your people.
I don't hate nobody, but I love my people.
Right. Ain't that right? I understand
do
that.
the same thing.
I understand that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going through what I'm going through right now because I don't want to give a sermon to the white nigga.
This brother got a flyer?
Yeah, I got one.
We get hated for that too because we don't want to give a sermon to the white people neither. We here for thus save the Lord. And thus save the Lord said go to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans only. And that's who we go to. And that's who we give our love to. We're not giving our love to everybody.
Black, we'll get this back.
Right. You absolutely right.
Y'all voting white through blue and red.
Look, we
ain't black, we gonna get it back.
We ain't voting nothing. You know who we vote? We know who we gonna vote for? Christ. We gonna vote for the Son of God because he's the only one that's for us. He's the only one that's for us.
All right, brother.
We ain't doing no voting for nothing. Right? We bringing Christ back here. That's what we're doing by
serving. We already here.
That's what we're doing. No. We're talking about the real Messiah.
Me.
And the real Messiah. And we ain't gonna get all of this back, right? We don't want none of this shit. Right. What we gonna have is something better than this. We're gonna have streets made of gold. We're gonna have many mansions.
Eternal, everlasting life.
You damn right. My kids ain't never gonna know what it's like to serve a white man. Ever. Ever. And you right.
You'll never know what it is.
You right.
White man.
You right. You absolutely right.
Feel hate in my child.
And you're absolutely right. But what is the solution? I gave you the solution. Call that number on that flyer, brother. That's my number. You can call me. What's up, brother? You got a question?
Nah, just check it out.
All right, no sweat. Go ahead.
Hey, get that money free hand, man.
All jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, and this and that for life.
You don't receive her what? Her planet in the Isupk. We ain't worried about the coronavirus. How many of us do you see with masks on? Right. How many of us do you see out here afraid with gloves on?
140 for the rebel.
The world turned its back open. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers. He got soldiers, but I got different ones. Don't sit here and talk shit. Forgive me for the time that I did and bring his gift. Have your respect to your oppressor.
Nosotros somos una nación. Nosotros somos la misma gente. Nosotros.
El mundo sepa que nuestros hermanos negros y hermanos moranos ya no estarán separados, pero se unirán para hacer grandes cosas por todas las 12 tribus peredas de Israel. Juan Yasha'al.
All right, clap it up. Shalom Israel. Nosotros somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos de un oeste, calle 125 en Harlem, Nueva York, abajo del Comandante General Yohana. Shalom Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And tonight's class is Isupk San Antonio's Brotherhood class. You know, we went out to camp last Saturday, and it was a camp, right? Well, anyway, to make a long story short, we saw blacks and Hispanics sticking up for our enemy, right? Trying to get our enemy on top again, because our enemy was on their knees trying to be truly you know, what's that word? Apology. I can't really say it. They're trying to apologize, right? And our people, which are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, or the blacks and Hispanics, were trying to, get him off his knees and have him in a higher position, right? Well, that just goes to show how white supremacy has clouded our mind. It's clouded our mind, and it really shows that we are stuck in a position called Stockholm syndrome, right? We're really stuck in this syndrome to where we have more compassion on our oppressor than we do on one another. And it's time to actually open up your eyes to this syndrome that we're suffering. Because if you really open up your eyes to this, maybe you can come out of it. Hopefully you can. And that's what these classes are here for, to help you come out of white supremacy, come out of that sickness that plagues our people, which is that Stockholm syndrome. It's a mental illness that our people suffer these days. We've been suffering this syndrome for hundreds of years now. Hundreds of years we've been underneath our oppressor, and now we have more compassion on him than we do our own brothers, our own sisters, right? When Mexicanos go out and they see, a black man or a black sister, right? And they see them in a downtrodden state, sometimes they're on the street asking for money, and they just like, well, they did that to themselves because they like to smoke crack and they like to do drugs, stuff like that, right? When our own people do drugs and do all kinds of debauchery also, but we look down upon them because we think we're different and that they're lower than us somehow because their skin is darker, right? That's white supremacy. That's white supremacy drilled into your mind. And tonight is the antidote to that. The antidote to white supremacy is carnalismo, brotherhood. And that's what, Isupk throughout the whole entire world is teaching. It's teaching brotherhood, carnalismo, that black and brown should come together. Instead of hating one another, we should help lift each other up. And it's time to actually stop trying to lift up our oppressor and lift up your brother that's struggling right alongside you, instead of just trying to crawl over him, like a crab in a barrel type situation. How about we just lift each other up instead of just crawling on each other? So, tonight I have Trooper Habal with me. Can you hear me, Trooper?
Oh no, Lord God.
Shalom, Lord Christ.
Lord Christ.
So, for my first scripture, can you pull up John, 1 John chapter 3, verse 16? So, let me. But before you get that, I'm gonna address something I've seen online. Right, I've been trying to, familiarize myself with social media because I'm not too good at it, right? But I know the fight is in social media nowadays. So I was online and I came across this thread, right? I'm not going to say who the sister is, but I'm going to read her. The chapter was 1 John, and we're going to start at chapter 3 and verse 16. It says, "Dear Latinos, Hispanics, when I, a Black American woman, say I've experienced more overt racism from those who identify as a Latino Hispanic than I have white people. I'm just sharing what I lived, experienced. For your information, there's also research studies that show that at least 60% of you have a implicant bias against Black people and a preference for white people. So instead of getting defensive and spewing anti-Black BS back to me, what can we do to heal that? Well, what we can do to heal that is coming to the ISUPK, where we teach Blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans are family. And not only are we family because of the circumstances that we have gone through, that we suffer the same oppression, same atrocities, same how can I say, we suffer the same oppression. We live in the same downtrodden parts of the city, the same, like, you know, y'all call it the hood, we call it the barrio. It's the same thing. Our brothers on the reservations are deprived of basic human needs. But not only are we the same because we suffer the same atrocities, we're the same because we come from the same bloodline. We're the same people. We have the same blood flowing through our veins. Yet we see each other different because of our skin color, our hair texture, because of white supremacy. That's why we see each other different. But color only goes so deep, right? Color is not an issue. What it is about bloodline. The covenant was only given to Israelites, right? God's covenant, it was only given to Israelites. And you can only be an Israelite to receive the new covenant. Because why would anybody else receive a new covenant when they didn't even have an old covenant? Only Israelites receive the new covenant. So we have to come together in order for our people to rise. Because aren't you tired of being on the bottom? Aren't you tired of being the butt of the joke? Aren't you tired of being chased down by ICE and the police hunting you down? Police shooting your brothers and sons in the streets? I'm tired of it. That's why I joined the ISUPK. I'm tired of seeing my Black and Hispanic and Native American brothers at the bottom. It's time for us to rise. So if you're hearing my voice tonight, please take notes of these scriptures, and we're going to break them down in truth. Because you go into these Christian churches, they're not going to tell you about true brotherhood. They want you to, turn around and shake your neighbor's hand, right? But they're just trying to get you in a euphoric mood so you can put money in that plate that they're passing around. That's all they want. They're not trying to actually, bring people together. If not, then why are, Catholic priests abusing our children? That's tearing, apart the mentality of our youth. It's stripping their life away from them. And they're going to grow up and be, how can I say, scarred from that. And it's going to lead to complications, mental complications when they grow up. That's not healing our people. That's not bringing our people together. They're going to start hating men. They're going to start hating, the situation that happened to them is going to cause them to probably even dive into, it's going to bring demons to them, probably dive into, the LGBTQ movement. Because that's what it spawns. It spawns, them kind of demons. It's not bringing families together. It's tearing families apart. And in the Christian church, and if they were trying to bring families together, why do you hear story after story after story about, the wife seeking counseling from the preacher, and they end up in a situation together, a sexual situation together. And she ends up leaving her husband for the pastor. Or it turns out the deacon was sleeping with everyone's wife in the congregation. They're not teaching true brotherhood. You can only learn that in the ISUPK. So Salakia, let me try to pull up that scripture with you before you get it. It's 1 John chapter 3, and we're going to start at verse 16. Let me pull it up with you. I'll tell you when I have it. Go ahead.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 16. Hereby perceive we the love of God.
Hereby perceive we the love of God. You know, we say that we love God, so that's why we, put a Nimrod idol in our living room every December 25th. We say we love God, so we celebrate his birthday, right? In the Christian church, they teach that Jesus is God. That's not the truth. Jesus is the Son of God. But we say that we're worshiping God, right? While we put an idol in our house every December. And then we celebrate the goddess Janus on January 1st. That we say we love God. We say we love God when we hate our brother. Us Hispanics say that we're different from the Negros, right? Our black brothers. We say we're different and we look down upon them. But we say we love God. Go ahead.
Oh, Khan. Because he laid down his life for us.
Right. Christ laid down his life for us, right? He laid down his life. But you say you love God, but you're not willing to, pick up your brother from a downtrodden state. Go ahead.
And we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
We ought to lay down our lives for the brethren. We ought to lay down our lives to help build up our people instead of just trying to, knock each other down by, all these racial slurs that we say to each other behind each other's backs. All these, how can I say, all these situations where we could have helped one another, but we decide just to turn our head because, they're not my people. ICE is hunting down these illegal immigrants, right? I was going to say something else, but they call them that byword, the WB, right? But that's their problem. That's not ours. So we just going to, us blacks, we just got to step out from this, right? Or when, our black brothers are being hunted down by the police in the streets, and us so-called Hispanics just step back and say, "Hey, that's the Negros problem. We're gonna sit back on that." But when we ought to Salakia, read that again. The second part of it.
Oh, Khan. 1 John chapter 3 verse 16. Because he laid down his life for us.
Go ahead.
And we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
We ought to lay down our lives for the brethren. Here in San Antonio, we go to camp in the Alamo Plaza, right by the Alamo, right? Well, everybody thinks that the Battle of the Alamo was, the Texanians, as they would like to call themselves. I call them the invaders, right? But the oppressors that invaded our land and decided that they wanted to liberate themselves and be their own nation and steal our land and call it Texas, right? Well, everybody thinks that battle took place because they were trying to liberate themselves from Mexican oppression, right? From the Mexican overtaxing of them and just trying to, rule them with a rod of iron, right? They were just trying to escape the oppression that the Mexican government was putting on them. But that's not the truth. The truth of the Battle of the Alamo, is those invaders came over here, and mind you, Mexico outlawed slavery. You know, the first black president of these lands, right, of Central and North America, the first black president wasn't Obama. No, the first black president was Vicente Guerrero. He was the first black president here in these lands, and he was a Mexican, a black Mexican, right, in Mexico. He helped fight in the Mexican army against the Spanish, and then they liberated themselves against the Spanish, right? Well, he worked his way from being just a simple soldier to a general, and then from a general, he got into the presidency, right? And when he was I don't know what number of president he was of Mexico, but when he got into the office of presidency, he actually outlawed slavery through majority of Mexico, right? So slavery in Mexico during the time of, the Alamo, the Battle of the Alamo, slavery was illegal in Mexico because Vicente Guerrero had basically freed all the slaves. But they still had a caste system and all that, and they were still oppressed. But he was working a way to liberation. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, Santa Anna decided to go to war against Sam Houston because Sam Houston and all his cohorts, like Davy Crockett and or whatever, all them, it doesn't really matter. All them invaders that came over here thinking they were some hot shot, right? Well, anyway, he went to war against them because they wanted the liberty to keep their slaves. And Santa Anna had enough compassion on his black brothers and sisters to go to war, to risk his life, risk his his other so-called Hispanic brothers' lives to save and liberate, the black brothers, the black sisters that were stuck in oppression against, the white invaders. So he decided to go to war. And he completely, obliterated the Battle of the Alamo, right? He obliterated his enemy that day. They say that supposedly Davy Crockett, right, was one of the last captured, and he fought bravely. But the truth is, the reason why Davy Crockett was captured, he was running away from the battle. He escaped out the back and he was running away, and the Mexican army captured him. He ran like a coward. But, history is won by the victors, right? So they're going to twist up everything. They're going to twist, history up and make them look like they're such heroes. But anyway, they twist up everything. They even twist up, you go to these churches, right? And they're going to twist up the word of God. How can they be trusted when they twist up the word of God? They paint their face as the face of Christ, as Yahushua, our King. They painted over him and put their face on there. How can they be trusted? How can you look up to them when they act so diabolical? Anyway, go ahead. Verse 17.
No. You said verse 17?
Khan.
Khan. 1 John chapter 3, verse 17. But whoso hath this world good.
It's like whoso hath this world's good, right? Right. Like if you're doing this world's good, like if you're doing all right, right? We're all struggling in America. Ain't no single black American, Hispanic American rich. They just make it seem like your George Lopez's, your Tyler Perry's. They make them seem like they're doing well off, right? Like I think they say that I just read a post that said that Beyonce just became a billionaire, right? But it's all a facade. It's all a facade. You know, our so-called um, you know, enrichment of finances when we do to get these like big contracts or what have you, they come with strings, right? So they're not really rich. They're not really rich. They're just puppets for this society. But you know, if but whosoever hath this world's good, right? If you're doing okay in this society, go ahead.
Oh God. And see if his brother have need.
Right. And seeth his brother have need, right? You see your brother in a downtrodden state that he needs some help, right? He needs a hand. He needs a hand up. Go ahead.
God. And shut it up his bowels of compassion from him.
Right. Like you show up your bowels of compassion for your brother. Means you turn a cold heart to him. Like you just turn your head when you see him trying to like, you know, you see him on the street corner and he just, hey brother, can I have $1 to go buy me something to eat so I can go buy a taco, so I can go buy, some French fries or what have you, just to get something to eat that day, right? To put something warm in his stomach. And you just turn your head and don't even acknowledge him, right? Go ahead.
Oh God. How dwelleth the love of God in him?
Yeah, how dwelleth the love of God in you when you just turn your your shoulder, you turn a cold shoulder to your brother. How dwelleth the love of God in you, right? You say you love Christ, but then you just turn your back on your black brother, right? You just turn your back like because he's black. You just say nah, he's not my people, so I'm gonna just let him be. You know what I mean? That's crazy because Christ is black. Christ is black. Christ is a black man. So you just turn your back on Christ? All right, no sweat. But you say you love God, right? Go ahead.
Oh God. Verse 18. My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue.
Right. And then let's not love in word, neither in tongue. You bump your lips saying, yeah, I love God. I love God. You even have that rosary around your neck, right? And you clutch it and you're saying you love God. You do the sign of the cross, say you love God. You go to church you go to that Baptist church every Sunday with that pork chop eating pastor, that pimp on the pulpit, right? You say you love God, so you go every Sunday, you go to mass every Sunday. But then, that rosary that you're clutching, it's an idol. You're clutching an idol. The Lord didn't say to, pray to his mother to show him that you love him. When you pray that rosary and you do like, you're counting the beads or what have you. I don't know what they do. They do some type of weird ritual when they play the rosary. When they pray that rosary, they look like they're counting the beads or something. I don't know. But anyway, and then you're breaking God's law, but then you say you love him. You're hating your brother, but you say you love God. How twisted is that? That's twisted. We got to come out of that mindset that it's just about, it's just about you and your four walls. That's how our people are still in this downtrodden state. We got to look out for one another. You know what I mean? We got to love one another instead of just loving the oppressor. Because your love for the oppressor is what's keeping you down, black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. Because they love to see you down. So if you see them as Christ, right? You go to these churches and you see a white face for Christ. So you see them as Christ. So that's why it's imprinted in you. You know what I mean? It's clouded your mind. White supremacy has clouded your mind. It's time to come out of that. Stop seeing them as superior. Stop preferring them over your brothers. Go ahead.
Hold on, Wakand. But indeed and in truth.
But indeed and in truth, you can't say you just love God. You know what I mean? And commit sin against him by clutching that idol, hating your brother. Hating your brother is committing sin against God. Preferring your oppressor over your brother is committing sin against God. We're supposed to love one another. Black and Hispanics and Native Americans. Our compassion, our love needs to go to us. Because that's who needs it. That's who deserves it. How does our oppressor deserve our love when they just show us nothing but hate? How can you show God that you love him by hating his chosen people? You can't do it. Drop that. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28, verse 54.
Color Wakand.
But before you read that, I'm gonna say this. There was a time when we did have compassion on one another, when we did care about one another. Like I stated before, back when Mexico owned this land, and we saw the invaders, how they treated our brothers, right? We outlawed us so-called Mexicans. We outlawed slavery, but the invaders came in, and we told them you can't have slaves here. Oh no, they lied to us, right? They said, oh no, this is not a slave. This is a hired servant, right? They say they were hired servants, but they didn't pay them. They just said that. They worked loopholes around the laws, right? They try to bend the laws. They try to escape all the taxes that was put on them because, Santa Anna became hip to what they were doing. So he started hit their pockets in hopes to drive them out, right? To drive them out. That was a so-called a diplomatic solution, right? Hit their pockets and drive them out. So we're like, oh no, they're it's too high here. The tax is too high. We're just going to go back to where we came from. No, they decided just to write their own constitution, right? And steal the land. They still wanted the land because, Texas is a very fertile land. I mean, it's crop the crops here put out a good yield, so they didn't want to leave. They were becoming rich. You know what I mean? They were becoming rich off of that free labor. But we had enough compassion on our brother to go to war for him. There's a time that we had enough compassion for each other. During the 60s, right? When we both weren't allowed to eat at those so-called white establishments, the so-called good establishments, where they served all the bland food, because our oppressors' food is real bland. They have no flavor. They have no salt in it. You know what I mean? So but we just wanted to go eat at their establishment because, white supremacy clouds our mind. But anyway, we both weren't allowed in there. We both weren't allowed in those restaurants, in those schools, to drink from the white water fountain. They they had our names both on those signs that prohibited us. It said no Mexicans, no Negroes, no dogs, right? They put us with dogs. Because that's how they saw us, as less than them, right? We both were discriminated and ostracized in this society. We both are still discriminated and ostracized in this society. You know what I mean? We both are hunted down on these streets. Not only are they hunting down Hispanics with ICE, they're hunting our black brothers with the police. And soon now, even these small town sheriffs are going to start hunting down, so-called illegal immigrants. Their oppression is about to ramp up in 26. It's about to ramp up. And not only is ICE in some states hunting down so-called Hispanics, they're going after our black brothers too. I've seen clips online where they're going after our black brothers. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy how we see each other as different, but they don't. They both see us as the bottom. You know what I mean? They see us both as the bottom. I meant, it's like it's time that we come together, because we can't live without one another. We can't do it. Can't do it. They're gonna end up eradicating our Hispanic brothers without the help of our black brothers. They're gonna end up probably putting every black brother away in prison. They're going to find a way to put them back into those cotton fields, right? Without the Hispanics' help. Because that's what make America great again is in their eyes. When we were in captivity under them, well, we still are in captivity. We're in mental captivity, but they're going to find a way to put us back in chains, because that's what a great America is in their eyes. It's plain to see. If you can't see that, you're blind. It's plain to see that. But there's a time that we did have compassion, because, during the 60s, there was a faction called the Black Panthers, right? And the Brown Berets. A lot of times we came together with the Brown Berets and the Black Panthers. We came together, right? Of course, that failed because the government, infiltrated the Black Panthers and the Brown Berets. It infiltrated it, and it's not as strong as it once was, right? Because it didn't have the truth behind it. It didn't have the Lord behind it. We need to come together in truth and in spirit. They had the right spirit, right? They had the right spirit to rise up, right? But they didn't have the truth behind them. And ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, is the home of the truth. And together, we are going to see our Black, Hispanic, and Native American brothers rise. We're going to see it. We just need you to see it. But go ahead with the scripture.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. So that a man that is tender among you.
Right, that is tender among you. Right? It's not saying they're soft. It's not saying you're soft. But when something is tender, you take care of it, right? You take precaution with it. Go ahead.
And very delicate.
Right, and very delicate. Like, it's not saying that it's it's soft and like weak. No, it's just that you take care of, like, you have more care for it. Go ahead.
God.
You have
His
more.
eyes
Go ahead.
shall be evil towards his brother.
Right. We used to have compassion on one another. We used to see each other as brothers and have compassion on one another, care about the well-being of each other. That's when you see your brother tender and delicate, right? Like, that's my brother, man. I love that. I love that, man. That's my brother. Like, I'm gonna see that he's okay. But his eye shall be evil towards his brother, right? This is a curse put on us by the Most High because we strayed away from his commandments. Go ahead.
God. And toward the wife of his bosom.
Of his bosom, right?
Bosom.
His eye shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom, right? That's why our families are we have single parent households because we strayed away from the laws of God. We strayed away from our Father's commandments. And that's how we show our love to the Most High, is that we obey his words, that we love our brothers, because that's what the Lord commanded us, to love one another. Go ahead.
And towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Right. So that animosity that we have for one another, that look of disdain that we have for one another, just because his skin is a darker tone than ours, or their skin is a lighter tone than ours, or their hair is a coarser texture, or their hair is more fine, more straight. Those are ridiculous reasons to have hatred towards one another. But the reason why we have that hatred towards one another is because of white supremacy. They had this strategic plan when they came over here, right? The conquistadores came over here for glory, riches, and to spread Catholicism, right? So when they came over here, they came with the false image of Christ, which really is an image of Cesar Borgia, which he was a Spaniard, right? He was the son of Pope Alexander. He was the son of the Pope, and Leonardo da Vinci painted him as Christ. And they took that image and spread it throughout the entire world. They came over here with that image and made us bow down to it. And that's when they brought white supremacy here to this land. We are clouded with that image. And that's what plagues our people. Our people, rather see our oppressor as being, the pinnacle of society, when the way they got that position is through unaliving, theft, through brutality, right? Throughout centuries. Everywhere they go, even the earth is crying out for help, shaking, crying out for help with earthquakes and hurricanes. The earth is crying out for help because they're sucking up the very blood of the earth by constantly drilling these holes in the earth. They drilling these holes for gas and oil. Oil, it lubricates the tectonic plates. Tectonic plates are always moving, so they're going to need something to lubricate, to lessen that friction of the tectonic plates. Well, they're sucking up that lubrication. Oil is the best lubrication, right? Well, they're sucking that up to make it into gas to run their society, right? To run, well, yeah, basically their society, just to fuel their pockets, really. The very earth is crying out for help from them. But we see them as the pinnacle of society. White supremacy has clouded our minds. And it's time to open up your eyes and realize the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. Go ahead.
Verse 55. So
What's
that he will.
you can you can drop that, but next verse is Matthew 7 verse 12, right? In order to break that curse is Christ, right? Christ came and broke that curse. He showed us how to break that curse, which is loving one another. That's how we break that curse. We see each other as different when we're the same in every aspect. The only difference is what? Skin color? Really? When we both have the same spirit, we both like fried chicken, right? We both like fried chicken. We both like barbecues. We have the best barbecues. And instead of only inviting your black brothers to the barbecue, invite some Hispanics. They're going to bring some carne asada, and it's going to be bomb. Instead of just inviting so-called Hispanics to the carne asada, why don't we invite our black brothers too? They're going to bring some bomb macaroni and cheese. I'm telling you, man, we have the best flavor of food. We have the best flavor of music. We're the salt of the earth. We're the same in every aspect. We just have, we have different flavors, right? We just have different flavors, but we're not different at all. We both, are very so-called religious people. Who fills the cathedrals, these Catholic and Christian churches? Blacks and Hispanics. We fill them up because we are the Lord's chosen people. We have a zeal for the Most High. We just got to know who we are. We got to know who we are, who God calls us. We got to know who our brother is. He's just not simply just a black man. I don't really want to call him the byword that these oppressors call us, right? But they down talk our brothers for being black. They down talk us for being brown, right? We are the same people. We just got to come together and realize who we are. We're brothers. We both come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We both come from Israel. That's the truth. He's just not simply a black man. That's your Judite brother. He comes from a man named Judah, which is the son of Israel. That's the tribe that Christ comes from, our king. And then our so-called Hispanic brothers, the Mexicans come from the tribe of Issachar, which is another son of Israel. We're brothers. Issachar and Jacob come from the same mom and dad. Why do you think we have so much turmoil against each other? Because we're brothers. Brothers fight. But it's time to stop all that animosity we have, that we see each other with, and actually come together. That's the cure of our downfall. That's the answer. That's the antidote to the curse put on us by the Most High, because we strayed away from his commandments. right? It's like the Most High said, "Oh, okay, you don't want to love your brother? Okay, well, you're cursed to hate him now, since you don't want to love him. Now you're cursed to hate him. When you break that curse, is how you break the curse is just loving your brother again. That's it. Just love him again, despite all the lies, all the how can I say, all the enchantment that the the oppressor has us under. Fight all that what's that word I'm looking for? You got to fight that white supremacy embedded in you, right? You got to fight all that. Fight that white supremacy. Fight that evil spirit that the oppressor has spread throughout the entire earth. That they're the pinnacle of society. We gotta have more compassion on each other, right? We gotta show more compassion to our black brothers, to our Hispanic brothers, because that's who needs it. That's who needs saving. Why should we have compassion on our oppressor when he has shown us nothing but oppression? Wake up. It's time to wake up. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you.
Right, Salakia. Read that again from the top.
Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do you.
Right. What therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you. Right? If you want to be helped out, right? If Hispanics wanted to be helped out by blacks, if blacks wanted to be helped out by Hispanics, go ahead.
Oh my God. Do ye even so to them?
Do
For this is
so like do ye even so to them? Like you want to be helped out, like say for instance, ICE is hunting me down, right? I'm a so-called Hispanic man. ICE is hunting me down, and my cousin he's a so-called black man, right? ICE is hunting me down, and I'm seeking out for help. Like, hey, yo, primo, help me out, bro. Like, they're hunting for me. If I want him to help me, I gotta help him too. Know what I mean? I gotta look out for him too. I want him to hide me away from the devils that are hunting me down. Well, I gotta repay him. I gotta show him that same compassion, that same love. I have to look out for his soul too. Go ahead.
oh my God. For this is the law and the prophets.
For this is the law and the prophets. See, that's the law of God. To have compassion on your brother, to have love for your brother, to look out for the soul of your brother. That's the law of God. But we broke that law by having, these evil looks toward one another. So, man, forget that wetback. Forget that nigga, right? It's white supremacy. Because that's what they call us. That's what they call us. Right? It's clouding our mind. It's making us hate one another. Because we view them as being some type of special race, right? That we look down on each other, even ourselves. Like the brown paper bag test. You know, there's a term in Spanish that the so-called Hispanics use, el mejor la raza, which means like how can I say translated to like in to better the race, right? Mejor la raza. So they want their daughters to marry a light skin. You know, the brown paper bag test was you couldn't get into during the prohibition eras, right? You couldn't get into certain clubs unless you were lighter or as light as the brown paper bag. If you were darker than that, you couldn't get in. It's the same concept. We hate our we even hate our own selves because white supremacy has clouded our minds. We got to break that. And the way we can break that is loving one another. Loving each other. Loving your fellow black man, loving your fellow Hispanic man, instead of just looking down on him because he's darker than you, because he's got darker eyes, coarser texture of hair. We got to stop that. Brown and black is beautiful. It's beautiful. We got to stop hating each other simply because we learned it from the white man. We got to stop that. It's time to love one another. Go ahead.
Hold on, we'll call verse 13.
No.
Enter ye.
Drop that and go to Matthew chapter 25 and verse 40.
Matthew chapter 25 and verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren.
Right. Hold it right there, right? The king, Jesus Christ, said, even as much as ye have done it to the least of my brothers, right? To the least of them. You know, us Mexicanos, I'm not saying all, but majority, right? We view our black brothers as being different. And by that, we think that somehow they're lower than us. We see them as least. We got to break that. Start from the top.
Matthew chapter 25 and verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren.
Right. One of the least of my brethren. Right. They're in a downtrodden state, and you help them out. No, they're your brothers. And like you view Hispanics as different from you, right? But you still help them out. You view blacks as different from you, but you still help them out. Go ahead.
Ye have done it unto me.
Right? You've done it to Christ. So when we see our brothers, when we see our black brothers, we should see Christ in them too. Right? Because we're brothers. When our black brothers see so-called Hispanics, they should see Christ in them also. What color are these words?
Red.
These are red. These are our King's words right here. This is Christ saying this. You say you love Christ, right? Well, why don't you obey Christ? That's how you show love to Christ. Is how? Start from the top.
Matthew chapter 25 and verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren.
Go ahead.
Ye have done it unto me.
Right. You have done it unto me. So we need to stop seeing each other as different. We need to start seeing each other as brothers again. Because Christ says, if ye done it to the least of my brothers, if you like, for instance, whatever you do to the least of your brothers, you have done it to Christ. So if you want to show Christ's love, show your brother love. You want to show Christ that you hate him? You say you love him, but you're hating your brother. You're showing Christ that you hate him. You're showing Christ that you hate your brother, no, that you hate him. So like you're showing Christ that you hate him when you hate your brother. But you know, we say that we love Christ. We say that we love God, but we're hating his children. It's time to stop hating one another, black man, Hispanic man. We're just fueling white supremacy when we hate one another. Just adding more fuel to the fire of their rage. Because that's all they have. They have no love. They have no love. Everywhere they go, they destroy everything. They have no love. So why would you give them your love? It's just going to be taken for granted. We need to have love for one another. Drop that. Let's get Matthew Slakia.
So Salakia, Matthew what?
Matthew. Which one did you just read? 40, verse 40?
Con.
Okay, let's go to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 9. So, like, let me get there with you.
Con.
Go ahead.
Con. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 9. And ye masters do the same thing unto them, forbearing, threatening, knowing that your master also is in heaven.
Go ahead.
Neither is there respect of persons with him.
Right. And it was like, and ye masters, right? This goes for like teachers and people of higher, I'm gonna say higher, not higher rank or anything, but what's the word I'm looking for? For instance, you're like a supervisor at your job, right? Or you have like some type of power on you, right? A teacher at a college or a professor at a college or whatever, what have you, right? Do the same things unto them, forbearing, threatening. Don't threaten your brother like, hey, do this or you're gonna get fired. Forbear that. Or hey, you got to do this or you're gonna fail this class. You got to do it this way, like I tell you, because the way you did it, I just didn't like it. Right? It's it's not brotherly to treat each other like we're like there's some type of peon just because you view them as different, as lower than you, right? White supremacy has really clouded our minds because situations like this happen all the time. I see it every day when I go out to these job sites. You know what I mean? That the way blacks and Hispanics treat each other is it's crazy. Not all. I'm not saying all, but some, right? It's crazy because they put more workload on the like so-called other race. Like if you're Hispanic or black, they put a more workload on you. They take it more harder on you. But they don't see each other with compassion and love. It's like, oh, because he's Hispanic, they're used to working hard, so they're going to put more workload on us. Or he's just a black man, so he's not the same as us Hispanics over here. So we're going to let him take care of it, and we're going to just sit back and joke about it. It's it's a sickness in our minds, right? When we do this to one another, it's sickening to me. I don't like to see our people treat each other that way. And if I don't like to see it, I'm pretty sure Christ, like I'm positive Christ hates it. Right? You say you love Christ, but then you're treating his brothers that he sacrificed for like dirt, right? You're completely going against his words when he says to love your brother. You're going against Christ. It's time for us to hold each other in more higher regard than that. Start from the top.
Matthew chapter 3, Salakia. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 9. And ye masters do the same things unto them, forbearing, threatening, knowing that your master also is in heaven. Neither is there respect of persons with him.
Right. He doesn't, Christ doesn't respect Judites more than he respects Iskarites. And he doesn't respect Iskarites more than he respects Judites. He sees them both as his brothers. Christ is our master. So we should see each other as the same. We shouldn't have respect for one over the other. We shouldn't. We shouldn't have more respect for Hispanics because, you're an Hispanic. You shouldn't have more respect for blacks because you're a black man. No, we should have, compassion and love for each other the way we have compassion and love for Hispanics and blacks. Like if you're a Hispanic or a black man, we don't have to have respect for, one brother more than the other. We don't. That is still driving us apart when we do that. It's still going to drive you apart. We need to see each other as one. Go ahead, drop that. Give me Mark chapter 10, verse 43.
Hold on, oh God.
You have it?
Hold on, oh God.
Go ahead.
Mark chapter 10 and verse 43. But so shall it not be among you.
Right? It should not be among you. But go ahead, but what?
But whosoever will be great among you shall
Right.
be your minister.
Shall be your minister. Like whoever's above you, right, shall be your minister, which minister means like to serve you, shall to look after you. I mean, when somebody holds a higher rank than you, they're going to be your minister. They're going to look after you. They're going to look after your well-being, right? That's what we're ordered to do, to look after one another. It's imperative that we get this system that they have set up, right? It, they set this system up in Mexico with the class system. They they set up to where, um, of course, the conquistadores, the Spaniards came over there, and they're like the ruling class, right? And then they they SA'd the women in our communities, right? And then they had babies with them. If they had daughters, they would, throw them away. That's where they get the term "hijo la chingada" from, which means like, child of the shit, right? And then they would throw away that daughter, and they would keep the son. And the son is, of course, in the Bible, you are of the seed of your father. So the the conquistadors are white men, so their son is a white man. So they would hold on to that line that way, right? So everything that they had control of goes to the son, right? And so now he's next in line, and everybody else was viewed less than. There was a caste system they set up in Mexico, which is like everybody else was just like mestizo or just indio. Mestizos were a little above Indios. Well, it's the same here in America too. The whites were above their slaves, and the lighter slaves were above the darker slaves. It's a caste system. Same thing. Well, if you're viewed as above, you got to be served. You got to be, looking after the soul of the one that beneath you. That's what this is saying, right? Or if you're holding a higher status in society, right? You got to looking after the one that's doing rougher in life. We can't view each other as different. We're not supposed to have respect of persons. Go ahead. Start from the top.
Hold on, well, Colin. Mark chapter 10 and verse 43. But so shall it not be among you, but whosoever will be great among you shall be your minister.
Right. They shall be your minister, which means your servant. They're going to look after your soul. They're going to look after your well-being. Go ahead. Verse 44.
Colin. Verse 44. And whosoever of you will be the chiefest
Right. The
shall
chief. Right.
be.
Right. Hold on. The chiefest, right? Which is like the chief is he commands the whole tribe, right? Go ahead.
Shall be your servant, shall be servant of all.
Right. Shall be servant of all. It's like in the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge, our chief, our the commanding general to the school is commanding General Yohana, and he's servant to all of the whole school, all of Israel. He doesn't see himself as better than everybody, right? He's looking after everyone's soul. He's looking after the whole well-being of Israel, because this is what's commanded of him right here. And that's how it should be with us, right? We shouldn't look down on one another. We should have more compassion on one another. Have more care in our heart for one another whenever we see each other. And your heart is your mind. So always keep this in mind, right? A heart just pumps blood. That's all it does. But whenever you're having them evil thoughts, evil emotions, it starts in your mind. Combat that. Get those thoughts out of your mind and start having more love when you look at each other. More compassion on one another. We're both suffering in this society. We're both going through it. Know what I mean? We're both going through it. So we have to look out for one another. Help each other out. Look after each and one another's souls. You know what I mean? You see your fellow black brother down the street, instead of just looking at him like with a mean mug, right? So, greet each other with kindness and love. Like, what's going down, brother? You doing good? You know what I mean? Instead of just mean mugging him. Treat each other with more love instead of just treating each other like dirt. That's what we have to do. You know what I mean? We have to have more brotherhood, more carnalismo for one another. That's the only way we're going to build anything up. That's the foundation of the nation of Israel, is brotherhood. Because if we don't love our brother, who will? We're both hated amongst this society. If we don't have love for each other, there's just not gonna be love shown anywhere. Salakia, you can drop that. Give me 1 Peter 2:17.
Oh God. 1 Peter what?
2:17.
Hold on. Hold on, I got it. Do I read?
Yeah, go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 17. Honor all men.
Honor all men, right? Whether he be Hispanic or black. Honor all men, whether he be Native American or Guatemalan. Whether he be Navajo or Blackfoot. Whether he be, from Atlanta, a black brother from Atlanta, or a black brother from Houston. Honor all men. Go ahead.
Love the brotherhood.
Love the brotherhood. This was to love the brotherhood. Carnalismo. That's how we love each other, is we show brotherhood. Go ahead.
Fear God.
Fear God. Fear God, because God commands us to love one another. And if we don't, we suffer curses. Fear God. Fear his wrath. And it's time to come out of that downtrodden place that we're in, which which is, God's judgment for us breaking his words, for us not listening to our Father. Fear that. I no longer want to be in this downtrodden hell that we're living in. I don't. That's why I joined the ISUPK, so we can spread cardenalismo throughout our society, because we don't live in the same world as our oppressor. We don't. We don't live in that world. We are living in a literal hell. And the only way we can get out of that hell is through cardenalismo, brotherhood. Go ahead.
Honor the king.
Honor the king. You want to honor Yahweh Shai Mashiach, Jesus, who the world knows as Jesus Christ, for laying down his life for you? Well, listen to his words. Listen to him. Honor what he has told you. Honor the brotherhood. Honor that. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 8.
Hold on one call. First Peter chapter 3 verse 8. Finally,
Finally,
be all.
hold on. Finally, right? This is going to be the last scripture of the night. Finally. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Be all of one mind.
Be ye all of one mind. We can't just have different alternative motives, right? Oh, I'm just looking out for myself. No. We have to look out for each other. Be ye all of one mind. When you come into the ISUPK, we are one mind, one body. We are here to rise up Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, to bring the kingdom of heaven on earth, to bring black and brown supremacy, because that's the kingdom of heaven on earth. When we rule the earth, because the earth is mourning right now because all the wickedness that our oppressor has spread throughout the entire land, throughout the entire earth, really, right? The earth is in mourning. That's why there's earthquakes and tornadoes and hurricanes back to back to back to back. Well, for us to put things aright again, we have to be in control. The meek shall inherit the earth. And who's more meek than blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians? We just had a video go viral about how there was an oppressor trying to show remorse, and he was being apologetic towards the children of the slaves when we went out to camp. And he was trying to apologize according to the Bible, how the Bible wants the oppressor to apologize, not just by words, but by action, right? And he was middle of doing that action that the Bible says so. But, a black and Hispanic came to, their God, right? And try to help him up. Because white supremacy has clouded their minds. So they weren't looking to, how can I say, bring up the morale of the downtrodden. They were still trying to uphold white supremacy. We have to be of one mind here. We can't have ulterior motives. just to so we can fulfill our lusts. We have to fulfill the will of God. Go ahead.
Having compassion one
Have
of another.
right. Have ye compassion for one another. We have to have compassion. And saying that, black and Hispanics are different people and we should stay out of each other's business, that's not having compassion for one another. It's not. Having compassion on a black man for going through the same atrocities as you, knowing that he is your brother and you're looking after his soul, looking after his well-being, is having compassion on your brother. Same way for a black man to look at an Hispanic man and say, damn, ICE is hunting down, their our people. Instead of, ICE is hunting down them people over there, saying ICE is hunting down our people. That's having compassion on your brother, looking at your brother as not different than you. That's having compassion. That's brotherhood, carnalismo, knowing that we are the same people and acting on that and not just saying that, right? Just saying, oh yeah, they're cool. There's some cool blacks. There's some cool blacks, so I'm cool with black people. That's just words. We have to act on that and show it. Go ahead.
Salakia. Love as brethren. Be pitiful. Be courteous.
Right. Be pitiful. Be courteous. You know what I mean? Like, that's not saying like you should have pity on them, but it's like saying like keep in mind that we're both going through the ringer. You know what I mean? So we should have more tenderness with each other. Be pitiful, right? Have more compassion on one another. I can't stress that enough. Because without compassion, there will be no love amongst blacks and Hispanics. Go ahead. With the end, be courteous.
Be courteous.
Right. Be courteous. Right. Be courteous with one another. We can't have respect if we don't have the common courtesy for one another. Right? We love the brotherhood, respect one another, and don't hold somebody higher than you're like somebody hold like slack you. I'm getting tongue tied. Don't hold a Hispanic, like if you're a fellow Hispanic, don't hold them higher than your black brother. Don't have respect of persons, but respect the brotherhood. See each other as the same. And that's how we beat white supremacy. That's how we beat it. Through carnalismo, brotherhood. And with that, I pass the class over to Trooper Habal Kaya. It's like, do you have the security announcements?
Nah.
Like, oh, you
I don't do that.
Oh, no sweat. I got it. This is the ISUPK security announcements. We're the ISUPK, start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. And what's with the world today is white supremacy is spread throughout the whole entire earth. You come in here and you're going to be shed of that. because we teach true brotherhood, carnalismo. After 6 months, Salakia, if they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. My Ishra, which means 10th in the Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. The Feast of Purim, 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. That's Monday, March 2nd, and Tuesday, March 3rd. You can find that in the book of Numbers, the book of Esther, Slakia, in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 21. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the schools, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pant, headband, scarf. Amajim, which means stand. Wapan Hakwada, which means turn and face the east. We're going to give the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Apanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Quadash, Hayah, Shimka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaraka, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Latanganawa, Lakam, Kau, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawatya Wala'a, Tabaya Nawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Habashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahata Parath, La Awalamium, Aman. What we said in the English was, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Sorry. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Aman Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Bashem Yoshab Rakatah, Yajamata, Sorry, face sisters, Amajim, which means stand. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Latha Bashem Yahweh Shai, Yajamata, class dismissed.